Organizations typically structure themselves around function or business unit or geography, but successful growth companies optimize around the job. Competitive advantage is conferred through an organization unit processes. The way is in intricate or cross-function to perform the customer job. For many years, her illness was a serious illness. She couldn't find a cause for the hospital. She was sent to the Mayo Clinic for 1 week to find the source of her symptoms. The result is that she is on the nerves. The pain is continuous. Mayo Clinic is a clinic that completely combines everything and helps her recover from this. The experience of observing many places she has been treated. Mayo Clinic is like a traditional hospital. The process is as follows. When you come to healing, you will think of our medical professionals who have those who understand the problem deeply and want to meet them. This process starts at appointment of specialists in the admission at the time. Every specialist is required to keep openings in the day to accommodate real-time needs. Have the moderator for important information in the appointment, and I want to talk to those who come to heal. By the pain of her still, she doesn't know when this will disappear, and what we made her more confident. She met a specialist and get MRI scan. Her concerns at the time were gone. The Mayo Clinic has specialists like the other clinic, but it really does is a process that gets the right things done in right sequence to get the job done. When you think about a process, it's like the product line in the factory, but in fact, the process is touching all the chains and the result chain into an integrated form. This has result in a coordinate pattern. Every processes are help customers have a great experience when they're using your product is made up of processes. Results, generally speaking, are fungible. They can be bought and sold. Products can often be easily copied, but isn't through integrating processes to get the job done that the company can create ideal experience and confer competitive advantage. In her experience with Mayo Clinic and traditional hospital, it is the best coordinated and treated as well as possible. Each patient receives a variety of experience according to the process. Hospital will help patients very well, depending on the circumstance in which they may be treated. She soon recovers from her pain with the help of a specialist based on her experience. Mayo Clinic is easier and faster to understand the therapeutic effects when they work at Mayo Clinic than they work in traditional hospital. Processes are invisible from a customer standpoint, but the results of those processes are not. Processes can profoundly affect whether a customer chose your product or service in the long run, and they may be a company's best bet to ensure that the customer job and not efficiency or productivity remain the focus point for innovation in the long run. Absence of a process, as is the case with the most traditional hospital, is actually still a process. Things are getting done, however shortly, but that's not a good sign. If you can't describe what you are doing as a process, then you don't know what are you doing.
For years, Toyota has allowed competitors to see the process of producing cars and allowed to see every aspect of the famous Toyota production system. The tour also included a robust question and answer session. Nothing was off limit. Toyota wasn't really worried that it would give away its secret sauce. Toyota's competitive advantage rested firmly in its solitary, complex, and often unspoken process. It's no surprise, really. Processes are often hard to see. They are a combination of both formal, defined, and documented steps, and expectation and informal habitual routines, or way of working that have evolved over time, but they matter profoundly as Ms. Edgar Sheen has explored and discusses. Processes are critical parts of the unspoken culture of an organization. They enforce this is what matters most to us. Processes are tangible. They belong to the company. They emerge from hundreds and hundreds of small decisions about how to solve a problem. They are critical to strategy, but they also can easily be copied. Pixar Animation Studio 2 has openly shared its creative process with the world. Pixar longtime president written the book on how the digital film company fosters collective creativity, yet Pixar competitors have yet to equal Pixar successes. Like Toyota, Southern New Hampshire University has been open with would-be competitors regularly, offering tours and visits to other educational institutions. They would be exceedingly difficult for a would-be competitor to copy. SNSU does not even all its tactics for recruiting and serving its online students. It borrows from some of the best practice of the for-profit education sector, but what is done with laser focus is to ensure that all its processes, unlike resources which are easily measured, profits can be seen on a balance sheet. If the company has strong processes in place, managers have flexibility about which employees they put on with assignments because the process will work regardless of who performs it. Putting job to be done at the center of your process changes everything about what an organization optimizes for. Before refocusing around jobs, for example, SNSU would have measured success in responding to prospective student inquiry in terms of weeks. How many packages got mailed out? SNSU would then wait for interested students to follow up with a call. If they did, SNSU would ask them to chase down their historic transcripts to get to the next phase of consideration.
My office is restructuring or campaigning that it's time for new work. But that impresses is that these new systems are not rare. They are very intensive in organizing new systems as a part of the business cycle. In 3 to 4 years, there will be a change in the work system that affects corporate responsibility. A sample of Brain and Company's 2010 case study indicated that less than a third of the major reorganizations offer variable content updates and actual value destruction. Executives are faced with hardship and answer and endless conference calls. This results in the clear dissatisfaction with the current performance. Theoretical work shows that all this effort is focused on the wrong thing. Do you not have to sit through a meeting? Many committee or strategic planning sessions are merged Measures to determine whether the adjustment organizational structure organization need to be expert in complex business operations such as finance, marketing, and consumer service. When managers focus on their customers' job to be done, they not only have a clear compass that is geared towards their innovation offers, but they also have a critical organizational focus for their internal structure. Is not a profound difference. We have managers who are responsible for all important functions or activities. We have an executive high level of care in the product line. But in most cases, no one is responsible understanding and ensuring that the company is will deliver the silence work. It is only thought speculation, a repeatable process where organizations fully integrate their job to be done work. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau bring the toll and authority into one place. That some believe allowing the financial crisis to go uncorrected would not continue into the future. The focus of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was around consumers' job to be done in essence to know before they are. For example, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau policy committee comprising senior level of staff from across the entire bureau met once a week for 2 hour desk conversation focused on one the organization's job to be done and what hope were going to be viewed over time, understand and address it. But everyone was invited to bring their expertise and opinion on how best to solve it with the issue at hand that week. If you don't have that focus, then you start falling into individual opinion and politics. If you didn't focus around a job to be done, then you focus on the scars. You just sit there and argue with each other and get nothing done. Solving a job was our unifying cause. Our reason for being to was easy to really allow that. And we go action rather than typical DC paralysis as a result job theory provides a diverse team with a language of integration, enabling diverse function specialty to communicate and interact to fulfill the ultimate purpose of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Jobs theory changes not only what you optimize your processes to do, but also how you measure their successes. Because measuring something gives you the information you need in order to make sure you actually achieve what you set out to do. It shifts the critical performance criteria from internal financial performance metrics to externally relevant customer benefit metrics. It's not that easy. Simply measuring something does not ensure that some action will then take place. Consider a rain gauge, which measures how much rain has fallen, evaporation, which may be calculated based on temperature and humidity. Nothing gets done. However, just because you have measured the rain, nothing gets done by looking at the rain gauge. So, measure something that needs an action attached to it. Let's assume you have a garden that needs water to survive and produce food for your family. In this example, the only way to ensure that what gets measured gets done is to program a piece of machinery to execute a set of commands based on the range gauge measurement. Now you have a moisture gauge that is linked to your sprinkler system that controls the length of time the sprinkler runs based on the amount of rain received that day. There is a lot more that goes into any process than just measurement. It's like the goals and metrics you are measuring have to align with corporation goals. If they align with your overall strategy, those goals and metrics still need to pass the good check. Does it make sense? If I do this, will I get the result that I want? And demonstrate the link between the metrics and the overall corporate goals. Just because they align does not mean that the people performing the work see that connection. This link to overall company performance is key. The metrics or goals must be simple enough that each person sees that the tasks they work on each day impact to overall company's performance. Leadership has to follow up. Simply measuring something will never ensure an action or actions gets done. Leadership must review, challenge and provide feedback on the work being done. All work fails if the people performing the work don't feel like they are part of the team. Employees will care about results because leadership cares about them.
OnStar is application to control your car of General Motors.
The technology of OnStar is not something that cannot be imitated, but with the experience and the perfect process to understand the job to be done, it became a difficult thing. In 2000, Ford announced a joint venture with Qualcomm to create Wingcast, but finally it failed. This is what customers do not want and cannot solve the problem for customers. Ford offers a great line of products that can be connected to mobile phones. Ford want to focus on the properties of the product too much without looking at the features of the job the customer needs to complete the job.
And there are new mechanisms to coordinate to function that often do helpful diving in the development and integration of work-centric process in the measurement and management of new metrics that are consistent with the customer reinforcement. Managers should ask what elements of experience are most important to the customer and determine the metric track their performance against them. The best way to focus on a work-focused organization is to set up and integrate the right process, measure what is right, and over time aim the work into the culture center. The way you solve the problem for the client job will inevitably change over time. You need to be flexible about your process so that they can continually adapt and improve your experience.